Good morning, everyone. I didn't have any special intro because this was a very impromptu stream. I know I've been doing gaming streams like during in the mornings during the week, but I've just haven't felt like really gaming because with everything going on, I've had quite a bit on my mind, as everyone has in America and across the world. It's just been a very rough week, and I thought I would come on and just talk with you guys a little bit. I don't normally do like a morning show, so thank you for coming here to hang out. I wanted to do, you know, paying respects to Charlie. It's been a week, and the just nobody, everyone's still angry, right? When things happen around the world, there's times that no matter how upsetting or devastating it is, it seems that society just moves on after a couple of days. But that's not the case with this. And I didn't think that it was going to be, but I feel exactly the same as I did when it happened. And more stuff is coming out. And I just thought we could hang out and talk about it and share, some positives, some light that has happened from this tragedy. I mean, it's not even just everything that's happened with Charlie. The last few weeks, so much devastation has just happened. Irina, children, you know, being killed where they're praying at school. It's the state of the world right now is it's bad, but I want to focus a bit. We will talk about that obviously, but I want to focus a bit on, like I said, the light that is coming from this. I've seen so many videos that are just completely warming my heart of people that, said they've never been to church or they haven't been to church in years. They've gone to church once maybe, and because of Charlie, they're going now. So something very bright in this dark moment is that in life, Charlie influenced many, and in death he's still influencing many. And it's beautiful. And I hope it continues, and I think it will, because we are all angry and hurt. There's no one word that can sum up the way people are feeling. And seeing the videos of people across the world just, marching in the streets, it's a beautiful thing to see. And these, insane people that are celebrating the death of an innocent man, they're loud, but I said this on, if any of you guys follow Mally Mouse, she's wonderful. If you're not, you need to, because she is excellent. When this happened, she posted a video calling, action to other creators to use their voices and not be silenced by this, not let brands or your audience tell you that you can't talk about this because you're afraid to lose them. Like I've never been afraid, but I've never been somebody who really got political. Now, I'm not gonna change my content. We're still gonna game and we're gonna do pop culture, but I'm definitely gonna use my voice to speak out way more often, and I'm not gonna be quiet anytime soon about the situation of what's going on with Charlie Kirk. But Mally proved a wonderful point with that, and I respect so much that she put that video up. So the people celebrating, and I bring that up because I had mentioned this in her comment that, they might be loud, but we need to be louder, and we are. We absolutely are. I'm seeing it in my everyday life, and I'm seeing it online too, that where, like, people are fed up. To quote, one of the many beautiful quotes that Erica Kirk said when she did her, tearful address to the country, to the world after this shooting. She said, "They should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you have just unleashed across this country and this world." And she's absolutely right. People aren't going to be quiet anymore. Like closeted conservatives, libertarians, whatever, like people that were quiet about where they stood, and even Christianity. I am seeing people step out more, and I want them to just continue it and be louder. Um, just the past week has been, I've been more emotional than I have been in a very long time. And that's why I haven't streamed in a few days, and why I haven't done gaming, why I haven't done a celebration stream for, hitting 10K. You guys are wonderful. And like, you have no idea how much I appreciate you. helping me get to this milestone, and we will celebrate maybe next week. It just doesn't feel like a time for celebration. But I today I just felt the need to come on and talk about Charlie with you guys, and just let everyone kind of get their feelings out as well. I know we've been doing it all week, but it's going to continue for a long time. And I see a Jay Ray. Thank you, Jay. Thank you so much. I was watching his show before this. Good show today. So I don't even know where to start. We're gonna talk about some stuff. I have my show with Rebellion Raid. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate you. So on my show with Vara today, it's gonna be on her channel, by the way. If you're not subbed to her, please go over there and give her a sub. We do a rotating show every Wednesday. We're gonna cover a lot more of like these game developers and just people on Blue Sky apparently losing their minds over people getting fired for celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. Now, I feel like my audience is pretty based. So, the majority of you in this chat, I don't think I need to explain this to you. But in case there's someone in here that doesn't understand it, I feel the need to explain a little bit, I guess, huh? So, people are crying about like freedom of speech, which is a bit ironic because that's exactly the right that Charlie was exercising when he was assassinated. But this is not cancel culture. People are saying, "Oh, the right is so against cancel culture, yet they're celebrating and getting us fired for speaking our mind, or how we feel about Charlie Kirk's murder." That's not that's not cancel culture. Now, what cancel culture is, somebody they're on, Twitter, X, whatever. They're browsing through a coworker who they don't seem to really like. They're browsing through their Twitter and they see that they're following somebody who will just be like real here. It's usually a conservative, somebody on the right. Oh, they're following this person. Now you can't see what people like on X, but you could before. So they deep dive. They spend their day because they have no time. Like they have nothing to do. They have nothing but time. They go through their tweets and they find that they liked a couple of tweets that they disagree with. And they're so bothered by that that they have to continue on and go and get these people fired. That is cancel culture. What is happening with Charlie is not cancel culture. The people celebrating his death, because what they're showing by celebrating the murder of an innocent man is that they're okay with political violence. And even if their bosses didn't like Charlie and maybe even agree, which is disgusting, but maybe even agree with them that it's okay that he was killed, they have to pay attention to the people doing this publicly, because it shows that their mindset is if they disagree with somebody, it's okay to use physical violence. So that is why these people are getting fired, and they need to be fired. Absolutely, because that's not okay. Seeing teachers, I actually seen this on Jay's stream before this. I don't know if they said the area, probably not, possibly, but a teacher that was celebrating Charlie's death, and the students were upset over it, which was a beautiful thing to see. Teenagers angry and calling for this teacher to get fired, which is rightfully so. Seeing the younger generation becoming so based is amazing. I believed this before Charlie's passing, that this was gonna happen, that, Generation Alpha was gonna be tired. That's the youngest one right now. I don't know, there's probably another one that I can't think of right now. But they're gonna see just, like, all this woke crybaby crap, and they're gonna be tired of it. And this also shows that Charlie really did touch the lives and influence these young people, and that is also beautiful to see. So, I'm gonna try I'm gonna focus, we're gonna talk about the people that make us mad, because you know what? It's okay to be angry. We should be angry, and not speaking out isn't the way to go. If you wanna honor Charlie's memory, like, I'll say the same thing that Mally said. If you're a creator, you don't have to do this if you're not a creator, but, I mean, I'm just if you have a platform like I do, and that's why I'm doing this right now, because I just feel that I got called to do this, to speak out, and I'm not afraid at all to do it. I'm angry and I'm sad and I'm just heartbroken for the state of our country and our world right now. Um, Speak out and don't let your voice be silenced. That's the best way to respect Charlie. That's what he would want. He spoke out. He wasn't afraid. He didn't just speak, he acted. So that's what yeah, that's what there is to do. So let's move forward with this. And I something else I want to point out is if you, like I said, that Charlie was a wonderful Christian man, and if you didn't agree with his viewpoints, people have to, make up lies. I'll bring something else up too, that they cut quotes, they butcher up his quotes because something that's very sad, a sad reality, many sad realities of the left is that they want to make it okay that he was murdered. So they're like, I'm going to take one of his quotes, but I'm going to cut half of it out to push my narrative because I need to make him bad so that it's okay because I'm happy about what happened to him because I disagreed with his viewpoint because they are weak minded and fragile. So if you say a point that they don't agree with, they just froth at the mouth, gotta yell. They don't want to have a civil discourse, which is exactly what Charlie did. Civil discourse. He was classy. He had these people screaming in his face. And yeah, they're trying to justify evil, Stephen Brown. Exactly. So I I decided to I'm gonna use my voice in it with here's an example right here. This wasn't the entire quote, but it's a quote, but it was during, a speech that, he had given. And I see the troll in the chat. Just pray for him, guys. Hateful people, all you can do is pray for them that they find their way. So here's one, and this was part of, you know, the reason why I decided to keep forward with this. Here is a quote that Charlie said, and the left decided to cut off right here where it starts with sympathy. So he says, I can't stand the word empathy. I think empathy is a made up new age term and it does a lot of damage, which you can agree or disagree with that. But the fact is, they cut the bottom part of that off and they were like, why should I have any empathy for someone who didn't believe in it? And then sympathy is a better word because empathy means you are actually feeling what another person felt, and no one can feel what another person feels. I agree with that. Now, do I fully agree that empathy just isn't a thing? No. But Charlie made a very good point because people don't use it properly. So sympathy is a better term to use since people just they don't use empathy properly. And I seen people taking this, like I got to be careful because it's X and who knows what other things have been said. Uh so people were taking my posts that weren't even following me and putting it in arguments and changing their minds. Like one person had said, "So you mean that these people aren't even sharing the whole quote?" Wow. And then like I seen this person just in a thread going off in a good way, angry and noticing. So this is a wake up moment for people. Like if you're a part of the left, which is supposed to be the tolerant party, right? Yet they're celebrating the death of somebody because they disagreed with him. And that is vile. There's no word for that. That is just straight up evil. It's what is wrong with you? And you have to lie and say he was a racist, he was this and that. Can you prove that he was, but with a real video or possibly a real quote? You can't. So they just keep repeating it over and over, but with no point. And my point with that, you can't reason with these people. They're lost on a whole nother level, right? All we can do is pray for them that they find their way. Really, that's all you can do. And I'm trying to, like, I know I'm gonna get trolls and idiots in here, and I'm trying my best to follow by Charlie's example and not get too angry. Like, of course, Charlie got angry. Jesus got angry, flipping tables. Hello. But I'm gonna try and keep it as classy as I can. Now I know I'm not someone that goes off and is totally mean. Like I know we call people like retards and stuff on Saucy and all that. Like it's, but I'm gonna try my best as for me to follow his example and keep it classy. So these trolls coming in, mods, thank you. I know you're gonna handle it. I appreciate you. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna try not to go off. And I've even noticed so not on Facebook anymore because that is it's a cesspool. My gosh, Facebook is probably just as bad as Reddit these days. I got off Facebook years ago. But my mom, who is rightfully angry, a lot of the stuff she learns is from me because she's not really on the internet. She's on like Instagram and unfortunately Facebook. So she doesn't see a lot of stuff. Like, she didn't know about Irina at all. Week later, I think we even learned about it. I've heard that we learned about it weeks later. Um, so I tell her some stuff, but I don't tell her everything because she's already so upset. Especially with this Charlie stuff. Every day she's sending me something new. And unfortunately, she sent me a screenshot of somebody who I used to be very close with back in my hometown. Now, I wouldn't say this person was celebrating Charlie's death, but definitely making light of it. He wrote, "This is the only Charlie Kirk is the only school shooting that Republicans care about." And that made me angry. I wanted to call him because I still have his number. We used to be extremely tight, known him since I was a kid, but that like it hurt on another level. I know a lot of my old friends and friends that I mean, he's in the old friend list now because I have no desire to talk to him after that because that's just like and it's untrue. The reason why we are being so loud, um well, I'm digressing. That comment upset me. It upset my mom because she grew up like, he was my friend since I was a child, so she also grew up seeing him, and it just shows, you know I'm glad that I got out of New York State, for one. I had a couple of friends that were kinda based, that grew that way, right? That used to kinda lean more left, but then they actually decided to start paying attention and opening their eyes. But unfortunately, this friend was not one of them, and it was hurtful to see that. Um, but that's just the reality of it. This could have been a unifying moment. It shouldn't Democrat, Republican, it should not matter what you are. Charlie Kirk's assassination was an attack on the freedom of speech, and it was attack on Christianity, among other things. And you should be angry because who's to say it doesn't happen to you. You have a different opinion and you're out there trying to push your message and this happens to you. That's why you should be scared. It doesn't matter if you agreed with him or not. It doesn't. And it makes me sick. Like, actually, I'm gonna try not to get any teary moment during the stream because you guys know I don't get emotional, honestly, very often. For a female, that's very weird, I know. But I have been just like, since this happened, I mean, even the Irina stuff made me cry a couple of times, and it's just everything at once is just it's getting me. Um, it's been getting me. I've had moments where just like out of nowhere, I'm just devastated and I just start to cry over this. It's over the state of everything that's happening in our country. And in the world. This is affecting the world. So yes, this should have been a unifying moment. And unfortunately, the Democrats are taking it as not. But I have hope that some people are going to turn over because here's an example right here. Jamie Lee Curtis, which absolutely surprised me because I know probably at least 4 or 5 times I have called her a Looney Tune because I disagree with pretty much everything that she stands for, like socially and politically. Loved some of her movies. I've decided, with like I could still watch True Lies and like she's got, Halloween. I like her as an actress, and I used to think that she was so cool. I remember my mom saying the same thing, like, as a teenager, because she was like, Jamie Lee Curtis I think she's a little bit older than her. Yeah, she's a bit older than her. She was like, she was so cool. Like, she just seemed so cool and everything, like, back in the day. Um, and this right here is an example of the tolerant left eating their own. And this is all because she's not celebrating the death of somebody that she disagreed with. And they're mad at her for that. How is that the party of love? That's what I'm saying. Like, if you are someone that is on the left Democrat, you don't have to just catapult over to the right and being Republican, but you need to use your brains. You need to think about this. She has been a big supporter of things that I'm against, right? Paid so much money to causes that she feels are important for the left. She's been very outspoken for all the rights that they stand for, right? And they're mad at her. Let's watch this together. I've watched it once and I was just like I was m my jaw dropped. I couldn't believe that, but it warmed my heart that somebody on the other side still was like, "He didn't deserve to die," and she actually sounds shaken up like she's about to cry. And this is how a normal human being is supposed to act in a situation like this.
This is Justice for Charlie Kirk. Say hello to Jamie Lee Curtis. And this is what she had to say on a recent podcast on
Pull the headphones up.
WTF.
Let me know if you guys can
Listen to
hear it
this.
I
or if it's
disagreed
too
with
low.
him on almost every point I ever
Yeah.
heard him say,
Yeah.
but I believe he was a man of faith.
Mm.
And I hope in that moment when he died,
You see that? She said he was a man of faith and she's about to start crying. I don't care if she disagrees with his opinions. I disagree with her opinion, but as a human being, you should be upset that somebody got assassinated just speaking their thoughts. Really, that's what it was. A civil debate. That's what he goes there for. That's what he went there for the colleges. And because somebody disagreed with him, they thought it was time to end his life. That is so final and so and it absolutely disgusts me that people celebrating it. So I don't agree with Jamie Lee Curtis. She doesn't agree with my values and the way my politics. She didn't agree with Charlie's, but she's showing that she's actually a human being here and she's actually shaken up by this. So she has my respect for that. I'm gonna send it back a little bit and that got me too when she said he was a man of faith. And then she sounds like she's gonna cry. Yeah, Shane. And I'll get to supers, guys. Thank you so much, Shane. She sounds like she means it. This sounds so sincere.
almost every point I ever
Yeah.
heard him say,
Yeah.
but I believe he was a man of faith.
Mm.
And I hope in that moment when he died that he felt connected to his faith, even though I find his ideas were abhorrent to me.
Yeah.
I still believe he's a father and a husband and a man of faith. And I hope whatever connection to God means that he felt it.
Mm.
That could be a point. She's an actress, faking things is her job. But why would she do this when it's turning the people that are on her side against her? That's my question for that. She could have just stayed silent and said nothing. Or she could have done what everyone else is doing, that not everyone, but a lot of people on her side are doing, and just celebrated it. I don't know. I feel that it's sincere.
That is a clear example of how you can disagree with almost everything that he stood for, yet show an ounce of humanity when someone's life was taken unexpectedly. And now her left leaning, we only love you when we agree friends are turning against her, wanting to cancel her and boycotting her upcoming movie simply because she did not wish death and excitement the way they did. Crazy how quickly they turn on their own. Someone that has contributed millions to the LGBTQ plus community, and yet because of one moment of sympathy, now they're turning a blind eye to everything she's done for them. But it's a group of love and compassion and acceptance, as long as you agree with everything they want you to agree with. And I'll be honest, I wasn't planning on watching Freaky Friday when it was going to come out.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm probably still not gonna watch Freaky Friday because I just didn't have interest in watching, it didn't need a sequel. But we'll see what happens. If she continues to speak out, um, then I'll get respect. But the fact that she even just said that is gonna get respect from me. I don't I think that she was coming as a human being there because, again, like, she pointed out that she didn't agree with him, which is fine. It's not like, "Oh, he's dead now, so now I agree with him." That would be a little bit more weird to come out and say that. So she disagrees with him, but he didn't deserve to die, is what she's saying. And I think I don't know, I respect that. We'll see though. I could change my mind. She could come out and completely do a 180. I don't think she'll come out celebrating it, but she if she like apologizes or anything for that, then no thank you. Um yeah. So let me good morning everyone. I can't believe there's 240 people here. This was an impromptu stream. I just felt the need to come out and say my piece here. I want to check. Okay, make sure we're also. It's just you. We just did YouTube and Kick today. So I know the movie has been out for weeks. So I haven't. Yeah, I liked the first Freaky Friday. So I'm like, just because she said something that I respect or agree with doesn't mean I'm gonna watch something that I had no intention of watching in the first place. Um, well, let me get a couple of these supers, guys. Thank you so much. Anita, Amanda, hug and kiss lips for 199. Only thing is your beauty. It light up my day. Well, thank you. That's very sweet of you to say. Christian Rocker for 199. Wicked. God bless. Thank you so much, Christian Rocker. God bless. Yes. I'm not gonna highlight this Azure TV idiot, but thank you for the 499. I actually, I'm gonna bring this up in a minute. People comparing Trayvon Martin situation to Charlie Kirk is just it just shows how far they have to reach. But thank you so much, Azure TV, for the 499. I will not be highlighting your comment. 0 for 5. Don 3PO sends his regards. Thank you, Jay. I love that you guys call him Don 3PO now. Um, Buddy Pal Chief Big Guy has gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. Vegas Matt for 5. Charlie Kirk. Okay. Sangus Maritas Libertatis Loquinde. I said that so wrong. What does that mean? Hold on. Now I gotta look it up. Give me a second. Or can someone translate it in the chat for me? I would appreciate that. Thank you. Marker Reality for 10. Love you guys, including the people in the chat. Remember what I said about fire in a crowded theater. Have Mally Mouse on sometime about this. She's been in rare form. Gotta go. God bless. Yeah, Mally has been very vocal about it. Um, I know it's Latin. It's Latin for I know. Everyone's like, it's Latin. I don't know. Um, yeah, it's Latin. Yeah. So you know what? Let's thank you, John. So let me see. I think I actually pulled it up. Yeah, here we go. In case that Azure TV person is hate watching, maybe they can get an education watching this stream. But the left likes to go, no, 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 I'm right, you're wrong. I don't want your facts. I want to edit things to fit my agenda, my narrative. So I don't know who Tim Miller is, and frankly, I don't care. But I seen this floating around. I think maybe Lady Gravemaster may have retweeted this. Um, or quote, I don't know, but this person says in regards to Vance saying, when you see someone celebrating Charlie's murder, call them out, and heck, even call their employer. Not wrong, because as we talked about in the beginning of the stream, somebody that shows that they support political violence needs to be handled in they need to be handled in work, because you can't that high school that the teacher was celebrating his murder, and then the students were rightfully so angry about it and wanted that teacher gone, because you don't feel safe. If somebody thinks that they can physically harm you because your words they disagree with your words, that is scary, and that is a liability. Absolutely. So I agree with Vance on this 100%. So Tim Miller, whoever this is, says, truly insane. If Barack Obama had said you should call the employer of anyone cheering Trayvon Martin's murder, it is all conservatives would talk about for decades. And then the comment under it, I agree with, says, yeah, no one cheered Trayvon Martin's death. No one called for his entire family, including 3-year-old children, to be murdered. So be better. I don't know who you are, Blake, but I agree with your comment, because that is 100% percent the difference between this. And it just shows when the left just pulls something out. This is what pushed me over to the right. People that they need to lie to make the right look worse, right? So I've always been a conservative, right? In the way I led my life and a Christian, but I never got political. The first I'm trying to think the first presidential election that I could have voted in, I think, was Barack Obama's first term. I didn't know anything about him. I knew nothing about his policies or anything. But I mean, again, I come from New York State, so I had a bunch of friends that were pushing me, like, you need to go vote. And I was like, no, I'm just not going to vote because I don't know what I'm voting for. So it may not have been political, but I at least knew that I'm not going to put my hat in the ring if I don't know what's going on. So I didn't vote. I didn't vote for a while because I just was not, I was not a political person. And then it was Trump and Hillary that pushed me a bit more. And I still didn't even vote in that election because I was still learning. This is when I was still on Facebook, people that I personally knew, and I can only imagine how bad it was at that time. Um, Public internet, right? I seen the left do what they do best, which is lie about stuff. That you need to stretch the truth. Oh, he said, let's take a sentence of something he said and call him a racist. Charlie Kirk was not a racist. He was not. Things like that, right? So I would see Photoshop pictures circulating, and then it got to the point where I thought it was so ludicrous. I'm like, why would this guy even be able to, like, why would somebody vote for him? Talking about Trump, like, why, if all of this just insane stuff was true. So just a quick little Google search, what set me over was there was this white woman wearing a Make America White Again shirt. Like, and they, put her in one of his rallies. And I'm like, oh, come on. I'm like, okay, I need to look into this. And sure enough, I'm sure as a surprise to nobody in here that has a brain, it was photoshopped and she was wearing the Make America Great Again shirt. And I was like, these people, like, and then I went down a rabbit hole and got pushed to the right. It was because of them. It wasn't because of what I believed, because like I said, I've always been a conservative Christian, so I've always been on that side, but it was the left frothing at the mouth, having to lie and make things up that made me finally go, this seems nuts. I need to look into this because whoa, if it's true. And shocker, none of it was. And that's what people are doing with Charlie Kirk right now. Um, and it's disgusting because there's his wife is a widow now. He has children that are no longer have a father. A little girl and little boy that wake up in the morning and they don't have their father, and that just it guts me. It's terrible, and then the internet is celebrating and dancing on his grave, and that just absolutely disgusts me, for lack of a better term. I don't know what to say. There's no word strong enough for the anger and pain I feel towards the way people are acting about this. Because not only, listen, freedom of speech, if somebody really was like a racist and said a bunch of stuff I disagree with, okay, you suck for that. You're gross. I don't wish death on you for it though. And they're trying to make Charlie into a person that was like that. No, he was a Christian man that was spreading the word. He was getting into the minds of these young children in a good way, making them think, critical thinking. That's something that has been removed from schools and just society in the last, I don't even know, because when I was still in school, like even in elementary school, my teachers always challenged me to challenge something. If someone tells you something, no matter who it is, look into it. Do your research. That's how my teachers were while I was growing up. And now there's like, nope, what I say is right, and don't look into it. Just believe me. And that's not good. So Charlie Kirk was somebody that these young people, he made them start thinking again, and it's not going to stop. I said it earlier in the stream that in life, Charlie was doing God's work. He was spreading the word. He was influencing not even just young children, adults, I even like he was influencing generations. And in death, he's still doing that. And that's one light that we can see in the situation, is that his influence is not going to die down ever. And not it's never going to die down. He's a martyr. Um Jay, thank you for the $10 super chat. 10 for 10K subs. Congrats. Thank you, Jay. And thank you so much for the raid. You had a great show today. I watched for most of it. Um, I should probably hold on. Can I? Oh yeah. Oops, I almost hit hide user. I guess all Jay's channels should be mods, huh? Thank you, Jay. So yeah, sorry, I'm going off and I'm probably missing a lot that you guys are saying in the chat, but I have a lot of emotions right now, which is why I decided to just go live. And not just game. Also, hi A2, I see you in the chat, everybody. I see all of you. But that's why people like me, like Mally she hit the nail on the head when called to action for people to just use your voice, you know, no matter how big or small your platform is, speak up. That's the best way that we can honor Charlie right now is to not be silent because he wasn't silent. And unfortunately he was killed for it. Stuff like this this stream is probably gonna get unmonetized, but I don't care. I'm not editing anything out of this. This upset me, but it also warmed my heart, the rest of this video. This idiot there goes my voice. Like, just the pure happiness in this person's face over somebody dying because she disagrees with him is absolutely disgusting. But the rest of the video is wonderful, and it shows just how powerful this movement is right now. Oops, did I mute it? I don't hear it. Hold on. Is it? I have it small so you guys can see it. Real, so his death will mean nothing. It will activate no one. Yeah, I'm gonna get it for these music, but I don't care. I'm keeping it all up. That's what's more important. And seeing what really got me with this, I'm so happy. Well, I guess we can turn the music off for a second so you can hear me because it's loud. Um, is that this is happening in other countries. Like seeing like South Korea saying, "We are Charlie Kirk," people are marching in the streets, the UK, people have had enough. We've had enough. And that's why this is so powerful. And people like that are saying he's not a martyr, yeah, I don't mm-mm. It's absolutely not true. We know it's not true. Yeah, this face, she's probably so embarrassed right now, as she should be, because what a vile way to be. When I was first sent that video, I was angry at the beginning. I'm like, I don't even wanna see this person's face. But then the rest of the video made me happy. You had vigils in Canada too, that's awesome. Hi, Tugs, I see Tugs in here. Sorry, I'm like, I gotta catch up with chat. Part of the reason why I did this was oh, thank you. It's kind of fluffy today. Um, it's to give you guys time to talk, and I see you guys talking in the chat. Oh, thanks, Jay. You really think so? Somebody in the chat asked if you were gonna hop on eating ice cream again. Maybe I will, because I feel like I think I've talked to a couple of my friends about this. I feel like I'm being called to action in a way. I don't know exactly what yet, but maybe something like this is what I need to do. I'm gonna keep, my channel. We're still gonna do pop culture and gaming and everything, but this whole situation has just shaken me to my core, completely rattled me, and I can't be quiet. Even if I wanted to be, I can't. I just can't. Um, Holocron says, "Everyone stop watching these videos making you angry. Your anger is righteous, but the reaction will not be witnessed by those who it is made for. Transmute your anger into something constructive." I see what you're saying, Holocron. And there's a way. So, yes, of course, a woman like that makes me angry. But when you see that, you get the rest of the video, right, showing that she was wrong, and that's why we need to. Holocron is right, but somebody needs to also highlight these people that are acting ridiculous. And some of us feel like it's our job to do that. But to Holocron's point, I had I understand, JB, we're all very angry. John's so angry he's apparently misspelling stuff. It's okay. um I'm trying to collect myself. There's just so much going on up here. I've This last week I've been really trying to get my thoughts together, which is why I haven't done a stream like this until now, because I wanted the right words. I needed God to just come and give me the right thing to say, the right words, and I'm gonna end this with what my pastor said at church at the end, um, and with also a prayer that he put, which was I thought was beautiful, and something else, just side note of that, if your pastor at church did not bring up Charlie Kirk, you might wanna find a new church. I've seen some people tweeting about that and, putting videos up, and it's like, wow, that's just wow. Um, I think more pastors did than didn't though, so we can be happy about that. So, where was I? I don't even know. I don't know where I was. Let's go to another positive. This made me just sob. CA2, same. I haven't slept well since all this happened. I'm sad and heartbroken. I've had so many people, like friends and family, that are texting me just like, I'm sad, I'm angry, my heart hurts. Um, and it's all we can do is just kind of try to stick together at this point. And 1 second. Whoops. Okay. Um, this was beautiful. Now, earlier I was talking about how, a light that we can look at here is that Charlie's brought a lot of people to Christianity. This video was beautiful.
I have been to church like twice my entire life. And since Charlie Kirk is unable to go to church this Sunday, I'm going to go and take his seat for him. And we'll see how it goes.
Whoever put this together, I was like, come on now. Like, and not in a bad way, right? Like, because I can only
There's
imagine
the
the
line for the
sadness
second
of his
service,
family and friends
and
and
there's
stuff.
never a line. By the way, there's never a line.
I was just about to walk into church for the first time in my adult life.
This was my first time going to church in almost 7 years, maybe even more than 7 years. I went to church today because of Charlie Kirk and his family.
I didn't know Charlie Kirk, never met that guy before in my life. And something else that I've never done before in my life is believe in God. I'm going to wear this suit to church. I'm going to go to church. I'm going to try to be a better father, husband, and leader for my family. They deserve that.
This is such a beautiful video. And this is only a small fraction of the impact that Charlie has had.
We went to church today. It was the first time in 20 years for me and Devin. It was the first time for our children.
Sorry, Nick. I put the onions away after this video. It says it hasn't even been a week since Charlie Kirk's been gone. I'm no longer a leftist. Went to church for the first time on Sunday and realized I was never gay. I was just confused. This video, it's just beautiful. And something I'm gonna
I am
highlight.
just humbled by God. It's all God.
And God bless Charlie and his family. And just everybody, a lot of us are hurting right now. And something I want to highlight, thank you to my mods for, taking care of the troll in the chat. Do you see what I mean when I said that the insane people celebrating his death might be loud, but we're louder? We have one person in this chat that is just trying so hard, even sent a super chat to try and get my attention. That's trying to spread hate. 244 people in here. Which, wow, 250. Thank you. By the way, you guys are amazing. And out of that, all your voices, you're speaking right now. You're on the right side of history. We got one person in here that's acting like an evil human being, and we're just not even paying attention, right? So, yeah, that's it's something that's beautiful to see, and I want you guys to also focus on that, right? Um, these people, eh, they're not going to be silenced, which is fine, right? We're not trying to really silence anyone, but they're the you know what? I know I retweeted it. I seen Yellow Flash tweet it, and it is a perfect like a summary of people. It was Billy D. Williams, which okay, Lando is probably one of the best Star Wars characters now. Let's just be real. um, and I'll catch up on. I have a couple supers. I know some seen someone in chat say that I skipped. I didn't skip any supers. I'll get to it. Don't worry. So Billy D. Williams came out and said this, and it was beautiful. Charlie Kirk's wife is this image you see. Well, some of you mock and celebrate his death. She's experiencing a level of pain most of us could never imagine. She just lost her husband. Their children just lost their father. A family has been shattered. Charlie wasn't just a public figure. He was a man with a wife who loved him and kids who needed him. No matter your politics, no matter your disagreements, celebrating someone's death is pure evil. It is. Disagree with his ideas if you want, but don't forget he was still a human being, a husband, a father, a friend. If you're cheering right now, you're not exposing Charlie, you're exposing your own lack of humanity. Perfectly said. Um, and it's obviously we have to focus um on the people that are spreading hate, right? We got to pay attention to these evil people that are celebrating someone's death. But there's also another light in this that we can see how many people are standing up and they've had enough. People are coming over to the right side because the thing is, yeah, Billy D is classy, like such a classy response. Um and another point, like I kind of made this earlier, is the reason why we are being so loud about Charlie Kirk's assassination is because of the people celebrating it. Another reason is because he wasn't a politician. He was just like the rest of us, right? I mean, he was an everyday guy who, he was an activist that actually went out and tried to make a difference. He wasn't just on social media saying stuff, which I know I am too, but I'm just saying he was one of us. Yeah, thank you, Americus. Goodness. Um and then people are saying he came out and said he was hacked and didn't say any of that, really? Interesting. I don't interesting. I'd have to look into that. But whoever hacked him and said that was right then. So I'm looking yeah, Matthew, that's a point. I like Star Wars, but I do not like Mark Hamill. Speaking of that, Vara and I were supposed to review The Long Walk on our show tonight, but after Stephen King's disgusting remarks about Charlie Kirk, we decided to watch something else. So, on our show, it's going to be on her channel today. Just letting you guys know. We're going to do As Above, So Below, which I actually uh, really enjoyed the movie. I'll keep my opinions to myself if you want to watch the show later. So yeah, we decided because we've had enough. We've had enough. So why I'm not going to see The Long Walk. I heard it's really boring too. So there we go. Um, what else do we have here? I can't believe I've been yapping for like an hour. And here, you know what? Let's pull this one up here. My gosh, my everything looks crazy because I had to zoom in so that the videos were more full. So all like the little writing on my Instagram. Okay, so this guy, make sure it's not muted. I can't see like how tiny it is. I wanted to make sure you guys could see the video big.
you guys for a respectful conversation, even though we see things very differently. And if you're engaged in the creation of that content, I think God has a better plan for you. I know that might sound preachy and not what you want to hear, but maybe you'll have an encounter with God, and Jesus loves all of you, and he can transform your life. He transformed my life, and every day is a new day, and it's a hopeful, beautiful life ahead of you. And God loves every single one of us. We're all sinners, and Jesus died.
I mean, you've
for us.
definitely been the most respectful one that I've seen.
Well, thank you. That's very,
met.
very kind. And I can tell you, it's not me. If it was me, I'd be yelling and screaming. It's the Holy Spirit. It really is. I know it might sound silly. It might sound cliche, but Jesus has gone to work on my life. And so God bless you guys. Thank you for a great discussion.
Charlie, thank you for coming.
Wow. Again, civil and classy. The fact that he could even go on the whatever podcast says a lot, and keep his cool. I That's not for me, that show, that podcast, not at all. But the fact that he sat there, and that's the way you should be. And he's right. I've said this so many times because we get so many people, especially like on the internet, right, that are Christians, and I understand people being angry when they see people not leading a Christian life. But those of you that have been with me for a while, you understand my stance on this, where I try not to judge other Christians for the way that they are, because we are all sinners. People think we're not, but the only perfect being that ever walked this earth was Jesus. None of us are perfect. So seeing Charlie say that was wonderful, because you don't see that a lot with Christians online. They just kind of shame you for what you do wrong, and absolutely a lot of things deserve to be shamed. I'm not questioning that, but he came at it with love, and I think that's the way you need to do it. Some of these, people, creators, they come and they spread the word through anger and hate. And again, I understand people being angry and mad, but it's it's not going to bring somebody that doesn't know about it, or that may be interested in Christianity. It's not going to bring them over if you spread it with hate. You have to do it with love, and then, to get them in. And that's what Charlie did, and it worked, because as I just said, in life and in death, people are still coming over to Christianity because of Charlie Kirk, and that's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful. Let me unstar the dummy there. Sly Rye, thank you for the 5. The constant whataboutisms in regard to Charlie Kirk shows their intention. It's all about winning at all costs, even human life. The evil is incarnate. That's true, Sly Rye. You're right. Because they're taking, and the part about this that's even more sad is that if they took his real quotes, they wouldn't be able to call him a racist, or fascist, whatever disgusting names they want to call him. They have to edit it. They have to cut parts of what he has said out to further prove their point, which proves that they are wrong. But it's all about winning at all costs. That's a good way to put it. And as I said earlier in the stream, that is what pushed me over to the right. I've always been a conservative Christian. I just never was political until the left pushed me there, because they were just so ridiculous with their lies. Spider Unlimited has been a member for 4 months. I bought my 9-line Charlie Kirk tribute shirt yesterday. Have you head on over there now and support? Thank you, Spider. And you know what? This was an impromptu stream. I have the comment pinned. All 100% of the proceeds are going to go to Turning Point and furthering Charlie's message. I love Nine Line so much. One of my favorite companies ever. They support veterans. And my good friend Drunk 3PO works with them very closely. And if you want, there actually is, I think someone in the chat may have asked earlier, but I was in the middle of yapping. If you use his code Drunk3PO20, it'll give you free shipping on anything. They have, if you got extra money, I would say don't even just buy the Charlie shirt. They have so many good designs, and Jay even has his own store there, which I love. The Welcome to the Rebellion merch I have right here, which I wore this on Saucy on Saturday. If anyone was wondering, this merch is still available on there. Check them out. They're a wonderful company, and I support everything about them. AP, thank you for the 5. I was writing a book about glue, but I got stuck on the first chapter. Thank you. We needed the dad joke right now, AP. Thank you. um, let's see. And Risk It just re-put the link. Thank you. Um, Brimstone, seriously? Owners of Reddit, Discord, Steam, and Twitch are all being called to testify before Congress. Well, gonna have to answer for some stuff, huh? That'll be very interesting to see. I'm sure Jay will cover that on his show tomorrow. Yeah, see? Oh, thank you, Andrew. I meant to highlight this. Um, 9-line shirts are damn comfy too. They are. I have quite a few of them. Thank you, TP. Thank you. Yeah, Drunk 3PO20 works. Uh, Warrior, thank you. Yeah, if I don't know if one of my mods are over there in the Kick chat. Vara and I have a show together. We rotate it on our YouTube channels every week, and this week it's going to be on her channel. We will be covering some blue sky meltdowns. I did bring some stuff up but you know what? I kind of like the vibe that we had for this. Of course, we covered some of the sad, disgusting stuff people are preaching right now, but we'll say that me and Vara will go in on these guys later. Don't worry. Um, and I just, you know what? I want to give a special shout out to Vara because the day that this happened, it was our second show, the Vara and Virtue show, which we just started. Our third episode is going to be tonight. And it was the first time that it was on my show, or I mean, on my channel, because we're rotating. And I was so just shaken because it was the day that Charlie was assassinated. And just like the weight of everything happening. And now I don't want to only make it about Charlie, right? Because the Irina situation, I am still so angry about that. Seeing, this poor woman, she escapes war in Ukraine only to come here to America and get killed for what? For being white? Like, are you serious? And she died alone. Nobody went to her. I know after a few minutes, people were like, well, after a few minutes, people came up. Yeah, she was gone at that point. The amount of blood that you see in that video when it looked like a horror, like it was a horror scene, horrific. And I my heart hurts for her. She goes into shock and then just dies alone. And can you just imagine what could have possibly been going on in her mind at that time? Like, what did she do? She did nothing except sit in the wrong spot. Um, and then, the children at the school that were shot while they were praying. That it's just what's happening is devastating. So I just, I talked about that earlier but this is right now, this is a week since we lost Charlie. And I don't want anyone to fall silent. That's it. So it took me a week to gather myself. I did Saucy, me and Var did a stream, I did a gaming stream, trying to have some normalcy, but um sorry. Trying not to get myself choked up because I'm not someone that really cries on the internet. So but we just need to keep our voices loud right now. And again, let's just highlight that we had one idiot in my chat that honestly, maybe I shouldn't call them an idiot. Not very smart. We'll try and go with the way Charlie would have approached it, and be classy about it. But we had one person out of everyone that's in here right now, and that is proving that we're louder. Keep it up, please keep it up. Um, Mountain Mud, thank you for the $4.99. There is only one thing on this earth more powerful than evil, and that's us. Yeah. Mountain Mud. Spider Unlimited for 2. Her name is not in vain. Irina Zaruska. I hope I said that right. I think I did. Absolutely. Oops. I didn't mean, Matthew, sorry, I didn't mean that. But, you're not wrong. Yes. I just want to keep this up for another minute. JB's like, I will yell at them for you. I love how you guys are at the same time. Zarutska? Okay. I was close. I should get a cookie for at least being close. I tried. Um, fair point, risk it. Ignorance is bliss. Some people choose not to look beyond a headline because it would invalidate their emotional reaction. Exactly. And that's where I'm just like, how are you okay with just being so uneducated? And that's what got me, like I said, I just switched over because the left was pushing this narrative so hard and there were so many lies that I thought that it seemed so ridiculous that I looked into it. and found out that there was a lot of lies. Um, my voice is going. I'm so sorry. Achilles Jones, thank you for the 5. There's a Bible verse which sums up Charlie Kirk's attitude. Come now, let us reason together. Isaiah 1:18. Thanks, Charlie, for your work. Oh, that was beautiful, Achilles. Thank you so much. Um, yeah, I'm gonna when I end this, which will be very soon, I'm gonna end it with thank you, Risk It. I really appreciate that. You guys, this community is just beautiful, and I'm so glad that I found you guys, truly. So my pastor on Sunday, he ended and I wrote it down. I had to pull out my phone and like, write it down real quick because I thought it was very powerful. And he also ended it with like, so this is actually a church that I used to go to before I moved, and I watched them live every Sunday because for me, I will find a church in Florida that to physically go to, but um I like watching the church that I know my mom is at. It makes me feel like I'm, there with her. So this was his name is Pastor Jerry, and he is absolutely wonderful. And he even put, he put a prayer up. He said, "Please say this prayer afterwards," and he kept it up on the screen for like 10 minutes. Um no, I'm non-denominational, Spider. But any Christianity, I hope, it's beautiful. Find your way there if you can. So before I read this, I just want to say, because there are some people in here that may be curious and wanting to lean more into faith and you don't know where to start, I would say find somebody that is a Christian and they'll show you the way. If you're in my Discord, feel free to reach out. Even my mods, people will definitely help get you started, maybe with an app, what kind of a Bible to get. If you're curious about Christianity, please, 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 please reach out because I know not everybody is raised that way. And then as grow into adulthood, you might wonder, but you don't know where to start. So I want to tell you that there's so many people surrounding, even just in this community, that will help you if you're interested. So, with that being said, I'm going to end the stream here with what my pastor ended, what he said, and then how he ended the service on Sunday. He said, "Evil is not something we can make sense of. Evil is senseless by nature, a foreign invader in the beautiful world that God created." And I had to write it down. That really stuck with me because he's right. That's why people we're having such a hard time making sense of all this because we're not supposed to. Um, make sense of evil. And then he ended it with Ephesians 3:16 through 19. And he kept this on the screen for about 10 minutes and just asked everyone, please pray this. And I even tweeted it and put it on Instagram. So you guys have probably seen it if you follow me. But I pray that out of his glorious riches, he may strengthen you with power through his spirit in your inner being, so that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith. And I pray that you, being rooted and established in love, may have power, together with all the Lord's holy people, to grasp how wide and long and high and deep is the love of Christ, and to know this love that surpasses knowledge, that you may be filled to the measure of all the fullness of God. So that's how I want to end the stream today. The outpour, like over 200 the entire time. I thank you. You guys truly humbled me for this. I think we all needed this. So support your creators, everybody, like even in this circle that are not afraid to speak out right now and show who they really are. And again, I implore you, if you aren't really a Christian, but you are curious about Christianity, please, please reach out to somebody because I understand that some people, the way that they may spread the word isn't exactly, you don't look at it as kind. You don't agree with maybe everything, but there's wonderful, loving, beautiful Christians out there that can help you get you started. I'm going to send you guys over to Geeks and Gamers. Daily's on right now. Go say hi to them. You guys are beautiful. I love all of you, and I will see you tonight on Vara's channel for the Vara and Virtue show at 9 p.m. Eastern. God bless you guys. Have a great rest of your day.